Ladies and gentlemen, determining the important role of rated capital for rural development over the past year, the Bank for Social Policies of the Ninh Province has coordinated with local authority, association and mass organization to work together to propaganda about the policy of borrowing residential credit for investment and development of production and business of the people with the new rural construction program. From residential loans, poor households and policy beneficiaries have had the opportunity to invest in production development, increase family income, step-by-step escape from poverty and get rich, thereby making an important contribution in the process of building new countryside in the locality.
In 2018, Mr. Phạm Đình Công, living in Ninh Hamlet, Jala Commune district, implemented a model of raising goats for commercial production. Initially, Mr. Công raised a few dozen animals, but in the process of raising, this model has showed a relative high effectiveness. If on average he raised about 100 heads a year after selling, it also brought a profit of over 100 million Vietnam dong. Since then, Mr. Công has boldly built more branches, expanding his breeding model. In order to have more capital to invest in animal husbandry, Mr. Công applied for a loan from the Bank for Social Policies. Recently, I also borrowed capital from the Bank for Social Policies to invest in more branches with a capital of 60 million Vietnam dong, thanks to the low interest rate of the Bank for Social Policies. So investing in animal husbandry is more efficient. I hope that in the coming time, I will be able to access more capital from the Bank for Social Policies and expand the livestock model. The family of Miss Phó Thị Dĩ, living in Ninh Hamlet, Jala Commune, has been making rice paper for more than 20 years. If the production is even, each month, she and her husband also have an income of about 10 million Vietnam dong. However, in 2021, due to the impact of the COVID-19 epidemic, Miss Dĩ stopped production for more than 3 months. On the occasion of the Lunar New Year, Miss Dĩ resumed her production, but lacked capital, also thanks to access to capital from the employment solving loan program of the Bank for Social Policies, so Miss Dĩ has rest assured to reproduce. After a few months of epidemic, I stopped working, then borrowed 30 million from the Bank for Social Policies. Thanks to that capital, I resumed the production. Every month, the Bank for Social Policies has a disbursement program for the commune, in which the capital source is allocated for the Farmers Association to coordinate with savings and loan groups to transfer this capital source to farmers members. Over the last time, thanks to capital from the Bank for Social Policies, some households do business with very well effectiveness, such as those producing rice paper, growing asparagus, producing durian, raising goats, raising cows, etc. In general, people who can access this capital do very effectively. In the coming time, the Farmers Union will continue to coordinate with the Bank for Social Policies to review livestock and agricultural production households that need capital to develop their family's economy. The Farmers Union will act as a bridge for people to access capital. In the first 3 months of 2022, firstly, in terms of credit capital role, the Central Bank for Social Policies allowed a growth of 2%. Besides the invested capital of Bank for Social Policies, the District People's Committee also added 300 million Vietnam dong, as well as the source of employment settlement of the province entrusted with 3.2 billion Vietnam dong. Up to this point, it has been fully allocated to the communes and disperse 100% of the planned target. Currently, according to Resolution 11, the District People's Committee also has a document requesting associations, mass organizations, as well as the People's Committees of communes to determine the targets for the future role of loan capital for job creation, especially the subjects affected by the COVID-19 epidemic. Over the past years, the Bank for Social Policies, as a member of the Steering Committee of the Provincial National Target Program on Building New Rural Areas, has coordinated with other departments, branches, and mass organizations in the implementation of policies on credit for poor households and other policy beneficiaries. In the 2016-2020 period alone, the total loan turnover in rural construction communes reached 2,982 billion Vietnam dong, accounting for more than 90% of the total loan sales of policy credit programs. More than 143,800 tons of poor households and other policy beneficiaries received loans from the Bank for Social Policies. Social policy credit capital has contributed to the implementation of the criteria in the set of criteria for new rural construction, specifically criteria number 9 on residential housing, loans to build 121 social houses, contributing for people to settling down and stabilizing their life. Criterion number 11 on multi-dimensional poverty rates. In the 2016-2020 period, policy credit has contributed to reducing the poverty rate from 3.25% in 2015 to 1.07% in 2020. Criterion number 12 on employed labor, loans to create jobs for 15,689 laborers, contributing to job creation, maintenance, and expansion of jobs for the poor and rural workers. Criterion number 14 on education and training, more than 9,200 students with difficult circumstances are entitled to loans to continue their studies at intermediate schools, colleges, and universities, creating quality human resources for the province and for the society. Criterion number 17 on environment, policy credit has contributed to the construction of more than 150,400 rural clean water and sanitation projects, of which clean water works are more than 76,900 works. Sanitation works are more than 73,500 works, create a clean and beautiful environment, improve people's health. By the end of February 2022, the total outstanding policy credit loans for rural areas in the province reached 2,448 billion Vietnam dong, accounting for more than 82% of the total outstanding loans, with 88,812 poor, near poor households and other policy objects with outstanding debt. Policy credit activities of the Bank for Social Policies of the Ninh province have made an important contribution to the effective implementation of the National Target Program on Sustainable Poverty Reduction, building new rural areas in the province, and at the same time contributing to the work of ensuring social security in the locality, contribute to repelling and preventing the negative impact of black credit on the life of poor households, near poor households newly escaping from poverty, and other policy beneficiaries in rural, remote, and border areas. Rural policy credit programs beneficiaries have capital to promptly invest in production development, create jobs, and cover expenses to meet essential needs of life. Suda Camille has followed the roadmap of building a new countryside from 2021 to 2025. For the life of people in the Camille, it is quite difficult with a large population and a large area. Therefore, the point of view of the Party Committee, the People's Council, and People's Committee is to make people's life better and better. For many years, the Bank for Social Policies in Yumchâu District has always accompanied Suda Camille and social political organizations such as Farmers Union, Women's Union, Youth Union, and Veterans Association. These are the bridges to connect the bank's capital to poor households, near poor households, and people who have not had the conditions for economic development. Together with the Camille mass organizations, the People's Committee regularly inspects and supervises the capital sources for union members to borrow funds for the right purpose, to develop the family economy, to avoid using the funds for the wrong purpose. In order to continue to effectively implement the policy-related capital contributing to the construction of new rural areas in the coming time, in addition to the additional capital from the central government, every year the Provincial Bank for Social Policies will continue to actively advise the party committees, provincial and district authorities, and continue to strengthen the leadership, direction of coordination with social policy-related activity will implement the conclusion number 6, dated June 10, 2021, of the Secretariat of the Party Central Committee on continuing the implementation of Directive number 40 of the Secretariat on strengthening the party's leadership in social policy credit and Decision 1630, dated September 28, 2021, of the Prime Minister pay attention to allocating local budgets and other lawful capital sources to supplement capital from loans to poor households and other policy beneficiaries in the locality, creating stable capital sources to serve the local socio-economic development goals for communes that are building new rural areas, especially those facing many difficulties. The Bank for Social Policies considers increasing capital sources and improving the effectiveness of policy-related capital as contribution to reducing the poverty rate, creating jobs, increasing incomes, and improving people's lives are the main tasks. The source of policy-graded capital in the province is now mostly focused on investing in the fields of agriculture and rural areas, prioritizing the concentration of capital for poor households, lending to remote and border communes, helping people have capital to produce and improve their life, thereby rising out of poverty sustainably through the effective organization of policy-related programs. It has made an important contribution to the implementation of targeted programs on sustainable poverty reduction, job creation, and new rural construction. At the same time, it has gathered forces, developed members of social political organizations, and carried out the task of stabilizing politics and social order in the localities.
And now, the duration of building new rural areas in TayNin reported by TayNin Radio and Television Station wraps up. Goodbye for now.